Good evening, Mr. Kennedy. It's an honor to join you tonight. My name is Ben Dobson. I come from New York's Hudson Valley. You've already had a pretty profound impact up there. I'm a farmer, the founder of Hudson Carbon, and I serve on the steering committee of Regeneration International. And for the last 20 years, I've grown and sold organic and natural foods and researched the impact of regenerative organic systems on ecosystems and the climate. And I've come to believe that the American landscape, shorelines, and waterways are really the most critical element to an American revival and the survival of all the life in our environment. And we really feel with your leadership, this could be possible. And to really rebuild an ecological, economic, and social fabric of this nation, we farmers have been pushed into a spot where we see the way, but we really need leadership to help us get there and bring health and prosperity back to the 890 million acres of farm and ranch land in our country. The land is so important not only to our country, but to all the many people around the world we feed. And the last 80 years, our system and many of our policymakers and special interests have turned food into commodities. And a lot of us here tonight all of us represent food and not as a commodity. And tonight, I think we all want to talk with you about how we need to move on from, as you know, intensive agro-industrial techniques and chemical inputs and genetically modified crops, and really rebuild the critical life system of our American landscape and the communities in it, and also the ecosystems these food producing areas sit in. Lastly, I think it's really interesting that as we need to rebuild our own agricultural communities around food and not commodity production, and we need to connect directly with eaters, but we need to do so internationally as well. And there's a really interesting example right now where Mexico is demanding non-GMO grains from the United States. And the Biden administration is actually taking them to trade court. And in the meantime, in a free and fair market system, if we had one, there are farms and grain elevators and businesses and even seed companies that want to meet this demand of Mexico. And imagine the opportunity that would be for Mexican eaters, but also for us Americans in our communities here to do something different that could be healthier. So we're really, really thrilled as in the farming community to see you running for president. And we need your leadership to take these issues head on and inspire, and we need the deep reform we need in farm country, because what happens in farm country results in what we eat, and we the people really are what we eat. So thank you so much, and I appreciate you including me.
Look, can I just ask you one question? You said that what is the issue with the Mexican corn, that we can grow it here, but they won't let us export it?
No, it's not so much that. It's that Mexico, the president in Mexico, has banned GMO corn and soy and glyphosate. And he's being taken to trade court by the USDA because we want to make them take the GMO crops. In the meantime, there are American intermediaries and growers and seed companies willing, and to meet this demand. But our government itself is actually opposing it. And that's like a 7 million acre opportunity for American farmers to grow something with a premium with no GMOs in it. And our government's actively pushing against it. So it's just a key example. And there's something we could do at home that would help us here and probably help them there too.
So we actually grow enough Mexican corn, non-GMO corn in this country at this point to meet that demand.
We don't, but we can. We grow enough right now to meet a portion of the demand, but there are the seed companies to supply the seed, the producers, elevators, transport companies are all ready to scale up over the next couple of years, which is would coincide with the timeline Mexico has laid out. So we have the potential and the willingness, is my point, on the part of, and in a more free, fair market situation, I feel our government would link us up with this opportunity as opposed to opposing it. So it's
I got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Can you remind us again of how many acres that would be if we, as in America, actually met the demand of Mexico for non-GMO corn? What transition that would equate to?
The demand right now is 17 million tons. Depending on corn yield, this could be between 3.5 and 5 million acres.
Which will be an incredible boost to helping our farmers in America to meet a market demand that right now our government has put their fist on a scale saying that another kind of seed has to be exported instead.